young marketers, hosting LinkedIn carousels packed with marketing wisdom, or speaking at events to demystify the real world behind going viral. So, Mr. Matthew, welcome you to the event. Thanks for showing up, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Douglas. I'm happy to be here. All right, this place feels like for me. I've been in Bincom for a while. I've been part of the Bincom family for a long, long, long time. All right, so I'm happy to be here. I can see some familiar faces, some familiar names. All right. Okay, so today's topic, passion to profession, transforming your tech career dreams into reality. All right. So passion to profession, how to transform your career and dreams to reality. So I'll be telling my own story, right? As I go through my session, I'll be telling my own story and also add a little bit of information in between, right? So that I'm not just speaking from the book, I'm not just speaking in terms of theory, I'm speaking in terms of practical, in terms of a tech career, basically. All right, so I'll be starting with something very interesting. All right, give me a second. We'll be doing one or two activities on this in this session, but I just want to share one insight I got in the tech space. Give me a second. Okay, so this insight is from World Economic Forum, right? World Economic Forum, very popular, right? So they said by 2030, it is forecasted that 78 million new tech jobs will be available by 2030. That's in the next 5 years. That's a lot. I'm sure a lot of us on the call are happy to hear that. I mean, it shows that my job, AI is not taking over my job. I'm in the tech space, which is good news. All right. Um, However, there's a caveat to it. So I'll read the next insight. Now, this insight, can't remember the name of the report, where the report came. It said, by that same 2030, 77% of employers expect to prioritize reskilling for AI adoption. Obviously, a bulk of these jobs would need AI skills. I'm driving at a point, actually, all right, which means as a tech professional, either you are the beginner stage or intermediate stage or advanced stage. The fact that you have to always learn, you have to always skill, you have to always learn new skill, right? It's just the bedrock of your career. All right, so starting with that, I want to do one more thing just to have a feel of everybody on the call. All right, I'll be posting a link in the chat box now. The link will take you to a poll, right? I just want you to help me take the poll briefly, all right? Give me a second. Okay, let's go with this first. Let's go with this first. Okay. So just go to the poll, put in your response. And so I'm dropping it in the chat box now. Right, if you are just joining the call, there's a poll in the chat box. I just dropped it. Just take the poll briefly. Right, I'll give 2 minutes for everybody to take the poll. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Why did you choose to pursue a career in tech? Why? What motivated you? I know we all have different reasons, from the more important one, money, to passion, to, oh, I don't like the current job I'm doing. want to transition into tech. So for various reasons. Okay, I think we have 30 seconds more. 30 seconds more. All right, so the poll will be running up in 5. If you're just joining, please click the link in the chat box to the poll and just pick your answer. So we're rounding this up now. See, okay. I can see 7 people have responded, 6 people have responded. I'll be closing the poll in 5, 4, 3. Please put in your response. All right. Okay, I can see the result of the poll. Interesting. Let me share my screen so that everybody sees the results. Don't worry, your name will not show. So yeah, you're protected. Your name will not show. Okay, I might need to be given access to be able to share my screen. All right.
Yes, sir, you have the access now. You can.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so this is the results. Can we see the results? So most people chose a tech hire because of flexibility and fact that remote work involved. High earning potential. I love the guys that picked high earning potential. To be honest, I mean, they say there's money in tech. I believe that. Passion for innovation, which is what we are talking about today. Passion for innovation. Running out of storage on your phone. All right. Sorry, there's a noise coming from storage in seconds by deleting duplicate photos. All right. So from the result of this, so let me just stop sharing my screen. So from the result of this poll, it's obvious a few people actually chose tech because of fashion. All right. Quite a number chose it because of flexibility involved. And a number of people also chose it because of the high earning potential of the job. Which brings me to my story. So a few years ago, let's say I got into tech in 2020, right? And I started with, okay, how did I get into tech? Let me just start from there. I just woke up one morning. I'm a trained civil engineer. All right. I went to school as a civil engineer. Right. Spent 5+X. University years in the university. However, I just woke up one morning and then realized that, and asked myself one question. Then I was doing my internship. I was still in school, I think 400 level, and I was in Lagos for my internship. And I woke up one morning and asked myself a question: why was I going to work that morning? And the only answer I could come up with was the fact that I was going to work because of the money involved, because I was getting paid. Then it dawned on me that this is a job or a career I will not devote myself into if it's just because of the money. And that's where passion comes in, right? If you're not passionate about your career, tech in this instance, it is difficult to really want to put yourself into it. It is difficult to really want to devote your time to it. It's difficult to really want to jump through hoops or over hoops to actually build a career in that space. So I realized civil engineering wasn't for me from the onset, because I just realized I don't love this, right? So I finished my schooling, then I started looking for what career path should I choose, right? I delved into programming. I started with Hello World, all this kind of stuff, right? I realized this is not for me. Then I found digital marketing, right? Started taking courses. Now, let me just shed a bit of light on that. When I was on this call, right, one thing I need you to know is the fact that you started with a particular tech skill or a particular career niche in tech does not mean that's where you will remain. When I started programming, I was like, okay, programming, everybody's talking about software programming, let's start that. And I realized I'm more of a person that just loves spontaneity. I love doing different things at different times. I'm not the sit down on the laptop and code for 6 hours and just looking at numbers or looking at codes. Right? I realized I just would love researching, talking to people, getting to know the reason why people make decisions. And I knew immediately after spending maybe 3 months, 6 months learning coding that coding wasn't for me. So whatever level you are in tech, right? Either you're trying to transition it, you're trying to begin, right? Maybe you graduated from school, you studied computer science, and you want to pick a particular niche in the tech space, right? Don't be afraid. Whatever, if you started with software, if you started with UI UX design, if you started with project management, don't be afraid to switch to another one, right? If you are not passionate about the first one. Passion is simply defined as the spark you have, the drive you have at the beginning, not at the beginning, right? To pursue a tech career, right? Or to pursue whatever you want to achieve, right? It is the spark at the beginning. Right? So if you are not feeling that spark in whatever tech space you are currently, you might need to reevaluate your decisions, reevaluate what you're currently doing. It's fine if you continue, right? But you really need to start a tech career in something you really, really love. If you don't love it, then there's a problem, right? Because as much as tech is, they say tech is, you can just join tech is easy. Yes, correct. Tech has a low barrier of entry. However, because of that fact, you need to actually learn a lot of things. You need to skill up, right? You start, most people start, I started, so let me just use myself as an example. I started with, so like I said, I started coding, then I moved, I realized coding wasn't for me. I was watching videos, taking tutorials, trying a new word and all that. It wasn't really working for me. I didn't like it that much. I didn't love it. And I didn't want to make the same mistake again. I found digital marketing and I fell in love with it. Right. And I started taking courses online, watching YouTube videos, learning how to run ads, took Google Ads courses, search ad and the likes, play ads. Was watching some videos online on how to run Facebook ads, right? And I was doing that because I realized that the market is actually looking for people who know how to do it, not people who say they do it, people who actually know how to do it. And if you are coming into tech at any point, right, you need to put yourself into learning, all right? You need to actually skill up, watch videos online, all right? Because at the end of the day, the passion just brings you to the door, right? If you are a software developer or let's say a UI UX designer, all right, the passion for UI UX, the passion for designing just brings you to the door. There's a lot in tech you need to actually explore. There's a whole lot in tech you need to actually explore, and you can only do that by learning, right? Again, let me quickly go back to the data I shared earlier, earlier on. I said by 2030, right, McKinsey also supported the report, over 78 million jobs. However, most of those jobs will be AI related. Most of those tech jobs will be AI related. AI is the in thing right now. As a tech professional, or you are looking to start into tech, transition into tech, or you're in the intermediate level, right? You need to always skill up, pick up the next available skill to actually do. Okay, so let me continue my story. Before that, I'm dropping another poll now. You know, my time is fast spent already. I'm dropping another poll. Okay. All right, so I've dropped another link in the chat box. What level are you currently in tech? Where are you currently? Do you think you're at the intermediate level or at the beginner level, or advanced, or you're just checking it out for now? I'll give 1 minute for this. 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. One minute. All right. So let me just quickly check the result of the poll. Okay. All right. Most people are in intermediate. We have some beginners. We have some advanced. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So it doesn't matter where you are as a tech professional. Currently, either you're at the beginner level, right? Or you're at the intermediate level, advanced level. Especially for intermediate, you already know this. Passion can only take you so far, right? The passion to begin. I had the passion, okay, digital marketing, what is it all about? I was watching videos. I remember this lady. I still keep referring to her as the person that actually influenced my love for marketing. That was I've forgotten and let me try Peace Itimi, right? It was our videos I was watching at first, right? And it really, made me really interested in digital marketing, right? I was passionate about it. I started. But one thing I did was immediately I started it, I started watching videos. And within 6 months, I was like, okay, if this is something I need to build a career, I need to start practicalizing some of these things I've learned. I would learn how to run ads, Google ads, Facebook ads. I would learn how to create content, social media management. Where can I practicalize? I started sending internship, applying for internship opportunities, right? I was just done with school, ready to go for NYC. I started sending out filling out job internship applications, all right, for digital marketing. And one thing I just realized is that as a tech professional, especially at the beginner stage, right, you need to start working on little projects. Again, from passion, you need to skill up to make it a profession, right? Passion, again, just takes you far. It gives you that spark, that drive to work. You need to love what you're doing, right? However, as a product designer or a product manager, you need to learn some little tools to use. Is it Notion? Is it Trello? As a UX designer, you are trying to learn how to use Figma. You are learning how to use Framer, right? You are skilling up because at the end of the day, that is what builds your profession, right? You are taking up projects because whatever tech skill you have learned, you need to practicalize it. You need to actually solve a problem with that skill. There's one thing to have passion. There's one thing to also learn a skill. There's another thing to solve a problem with it. The report I gave you earlier on, right, by 2030, right, a lot of people are building startups. They are building solutions. There's a problem to be fixed in tech, right? And if you don't practicalize the knowledge you have, right, it is dormant. It is dormant. All right. So take up projects. Take up sometimes you need to actually take up free jobs. Yeah. Work for free. For me as a digital marketer, I remember I started my internship job. I got a job, started my internship job. And I remember my first side of in marketing, my first client. Somebody walked up to me, was asking me, okay, his brother owns a business and like to get to understand how we can promote the business on social media and marketing. So I'll just give you free tips. Which brings me to my next point. If you are passionate about your tech job, you should be able to do it for free at some point. Now, I'm not saying you should now, for an intermediate or advanced, I'm not saying you should now start offering free services to people. However, if you are truly passionate about it, even if you have a client that is paying you, you would go the extra mile to solve a problem for that client. For instance, so let me just continue my story. So the person came to me saying, oh, I love okay, you're a digital marketer. Yeah. I think he's into PR or something. His brother has a business outcome. So I was giving ideas, just because I just love it. I just enjoy talking to people about marketing. So I started giving ideas on ideas and ideas. So, okay, we will discuss with his brother and how they can implement those ideas. I think a week later, his brother called me. I don't know, I got my number, obviously. Called me, I was like, oh, he's working on something, you will need a digital marketer to work on it. And that's how I got the job. All right, by giving free tips. So at any level you are in your tech career space, right? You could go an extra mile to tips. Right. There's a part I omitted. This would help beginner levels, right? On the call. You would face a lot of challenges at the beginning, especially the fact that if you're working remotely, you face a lot of challenges. I remember before I got my internship job, I was learning a whole lot, right? I was doing a little project. I was working with a friend, doing a little project. I'll get some assessments. Some of the jobs will give me assessments, go and do assessment and get results back. So I was home. I was still waiting for the internship opportunity. NYC was forthcoming, right? Power is a major issue. Many of us can relate to that. Power is a major issue. So there was no light. I would have to actually walk to the library in the city I was staying in. I would every morning I wake up, go to the library just to use the power supply there. Go to the library, work on my laptop, come back in the evening, the following day. Week in, week out, I was doing that because I just wanted to learn. All right. So passion again takes you so far. When you pick up these skills, it just helps you gradually build a career. All right. One step at a time. So by the time I got the internship job, I had already built up the need to go an extra mile to get things done. In the tech space, there are a lot of problems. A lot of brands need tech professionals to come to solve something, right? So you need to have your passion that got you started should help you want to go an extra mile for whatever job you're trying to do, right? A lot of times when I have my clients, right, we're talking, there's a particular service they're paying me for. Right? I give them tips on other aspects of the market. And I feel, okay, we are not trying this. I think we should do this, should do X, Y, Z. I give them, for instance, I was working with a client. I was just supposed to handle the marketing aspect, social media, they run ads, right? But I realized that this young man needed to build a funnel, right? It wasn't paying me to build a funnel or do email marketing, right? But for the business, he needed to build a funnel for the business, right? All what I did was I just did a simple structure funnel of how it would look like at every stage of the funnel, what he needed to do, the kind of content, kind of platforms to use, and I sent it to him. He didn't ask me to do that, right? If you don't love what you do, you will not go to that extra mile, right? To offer a free service to even your clients, right? That's paying you because you feel, I mean, this is what you asked me to do. This is what I'm going to do, right? Even in your day job. So it is important as a tech professional, you gradually build your skill, all right? You offer, you look for every opportunity to build your portfolio, all right? And one last thing I'll leave us with, all right? I know my time is fast spent. One last thing I'll leave us with is at any level you are currently, beginner stage, intermediate stage, one thing you need to do is to tell your story, right? Or recent, I'm very bad at that. Many of us are bad at that. Telling our story, all right? Or recent, I and a friend of mine just thought about it. Okay, I mean, social media is a very good space to talk about what we do. Why not just get on LinkedIn, get on social media as much as we can to offer information to people, all right? This is very important because it just creates a digital track record for yourself, for your career, right? If you're a backend developer, you're a Python developer, you use Python language, every now and then go online, go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform anyways. Go on LinkedIn, all right? Talk about the projects you are working on. Of course, there are some details you might need to leave out depending on the NDA you signed, right? But talk about the projects you are working on. Pick a niche in your tech space, all right? As a product designer, pick a niche in your tech space. Talk about project design and product design. Pick a topic. Talk about it. Medium is a free platform you can create blogs on. Talk about whatever specific topic you really love, all right? Share insights, all right? Talk about the new things you are learning. Oh, I'm learning SEO as a digital marketer. I'm learning how to use Framer as a UI UX designer. I'm learning how to integrate an AI feature into a platform I'm working on as a software developer, right? You are telling your story online. You are leaving a digital footprint for your career online, right? It goes a long way. At the end of the day, you never can tell who finds this content online, either useful or not. It could your digital footprint online will be the difference between you getting a job and not getting a job. You getting a project or working on a project, right, in your career in the long run, or not working on that project. Because imagine you're competing with somebody to get a job, and you are the only one that has consistently built or told its story online, right? If they're seeing your video on YouTube, they're seeing your blog on LinkedIn, on Medium. Furthermore, maybe you even have a website, all right? They can see a track record like, okay, that could just be the difference between getting that job or not, all right? My time is far spent already, right? I just want to leave you with one thing, which is the fact that the world is moving so fast in the tech space, right? And as a tech professional, we need to actually skill up every time. AI is taking over. As a digital marketer, you need to know AI tools actually to use. All right. They say AI is taking everybody's job. But the truth is, AI is only going to take the job of people that don't know how to use the tool. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, a CEO will not sit down with AI and start using AI to do marketing or to build an app. To be honest, the CEO is worried about a lot of other things. He will need somebody to use that AI tool to be the one that will be called to use those tools to build solutions in the future of work. All right. All right. I don't know if there are questions. I don't know if there are things I need to spotlight or share or show more clarity on.
There will be questions, but that will be towards the end of the program. So thank you so much.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Thank you so much for the enlightenment. I'm sure we just one or two from the backstory you gave us. From my end,
Okay, can we hear me? Sorry, I think Douglas network is not so stable. Sorry, can we hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Damilare, for that wonderful presentation. I learned a lot from your stories. Thank you once again. Okay, so before we continue, or before we move over to the second speaker, which is our own mama, I would want us to do a little bit of exercise. So I want us to share any of our social media that you would want people to connect with you on. Please share it on the chat box. Please, if you see any link, do well to connect with the person. Thank you. Okay, I can see Adedeji's own. Please, let's connect with him or her. Thank you. Okay, so while we are doing that, I would want to talk about this wonderful organization that brought this ICT career talk to us today. 1 minute, let me share my screen. Okay, our first speaker will be rushing off to somewhere, so would want to take, if you have any questions for Mr. Damilare, please do well to drop it in the chat box, or if you can speak, just raise your hand. I'll call on you to speak. Let's take his questions. So he would answer your questions before he leaves. Thank you. Do we have any questions for our first speaker? Any question? Okay, I guess that means no. Our silence means no. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Daminare. We really appreciate you creating our time to be here with us today. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, anytime. I was happy to be here too.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, let's move on to the next thing, which is getting to know about the organization that brought the ICT Career Talk to us. Okay. Okay, the organization that brought the ICT Career Talk to us today is Bincom Dev Center. So Bincom Dev Center is a multi-location technology talent development and solution platform. And we have our location virtually near you and in other places like Yaba, Lagos State, Ibadan, Oyo State, Kano State, Kaduna State, Ijebu-Ibo, Ogun State, Warri Delta State, and also in the United Kingdom. And we also have plans of expanding to many more locations. Yeah. Services offered by Bincom Dev Center. This is grouped under three categories. We have the building tech talents, and under this, we have the Bincom Academy, Bincom Tech Internship, Bincom Tech Apprenticeship, and Bincom Global Tech Program. We also have the category of enhancing tech talents, and under this, we have the Bincom Tech Network, the Light Space, Emigrate Tech Visa, Bincom Mentoring Platform, and also Bincom Tech Career Coaching. The last category is building startups, and under this, we have the Labs by Bincom. So let's get to know more about the services offered by the organization. So number one is the Bincom Academy. So Bincom Academy utilizes the Montessori approach in training participants in basic skills needed for the modern technology ecosystem. We also have the Bincom Tech Internship, which is designed to enable people at intermediate skill levels gain mastery and expertise over a period of time. We also have the Bincom Tech Apprenticeship, which is an industrial attachment at various skill levels to gain experience and on-the-job training. We also have the Bincom Tech Network, which is geared towards giving back to the community and building the tech ecosystem. They focus on informing and exposing the youths to the current technology trends and how to prepare for the future in technology. We also have the Light Space, which provides helpful workspace intended to encourage collaboration and drive innovations in the startup ecosystem. We have spaces that is created and designed for various events like seminars, conferences, and get-together. On number 6, we have the Bincom Global Tech Program, and is your solution to launch your tech career globally. It is a 1 to 2 year program focused on 3 key pillars, which is to learn skill, gain experience, and also gain exposure. We also have the Emigrate Tech Visa, which helps you become globally attractive and is your tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement in countries like the UK, the USA, Canada, France, and many more. You also have the Bincom mentoring platform and is a structured mentoring solution to help mentors add value to mentees for the purpose of building globally attractive techies. On number 9, we have the Labs by Bincom and is a 3 to 6 months pre-incubator program that brings together participants to build a digital technology product which would be used by real-life users. And lastly, we have the Bincom Tech Career Coaching, which helps individuals to land their next role faster by offering a combination of coaching, relevant on-job experience, career referencing, introduction to tech recruiters, hand-holding through application and interview process, and much more. Also, to get to know more about this organization, I'll be sharing the link on the chat box. Please click on the link to the website and you can get to read more and also apply for any of our services that you're interested in. Thank you. All right. Okay, now we would be inviting our second speaker, which is someone most of us already know, but she's a strategic HR admin and operation leader with over 10 years of experience driving growth and team performance across startups, education, and tech ecosystems. She is the co-founder and head of pro services at Bincom Dev Center, where she leads the design and delivery of scalable tech training programs, career development supports, and internal operations that forwards next generation of digital talents. With a strong background in human resources, project management, and tech-enabled training, Comfort is passionate about helping young professionals transition from passion to profession. She has mentored dozens of emerging HR and tech talent, IT project and product managers, helping them align their skills, mindset, and confidence to succeed in the global digital economy. Comfort holds certifications in product management, lean project management, and agile project management, and has led HR and admin operations across diverse sectors. Her unique approach blends structures with empathy, making her a trusted guide for those navigating early career transitions in tech. At the ICT Career Talk, Comfort brings real-world insights, practical advice, and heartfelt encouragement to anyone ready to take that next step in their tech journey, especially those starting or seeking clarity to their path. All right, welcome, Madam Comfort. We are so happy to have you joining us here today. The floor is all yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, hosts. I don't know if my camera is on. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you. Whether you're just exploring tech or you're already learning or you're still trying to find your direction, this section is actually for you. And it is not just about you having all the answers. Yeah, so you need to discover your passion and how you can convert or transfer your passion into a profession. So, and I also want us to know that tech isn't just a career, it is actually a calling. So, whether you are still starting out or you are still building something, you are just trying to dive into tech. I want us to discover our path with courage, with clarity, and within the community. So, but before I dive into my discussion today, I want, please, can you help me share my slide?
All right, 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay. All right, thank you. So while you are doing that, I want us to reflect on some things. Thank you, the first speaker. He has really, really touched a lot of things I want to talk about. So I may not really be spending so much time on this conversation because the main thing has actually been touched. I will just try to, in my own time, try to elaborate or speak more to what the first speaker had said. So thank you so much, the first speaker. I have on my slide some activity I want us to do. So if you're on this call, I want you to have a pen or a paper with you, if possible, or you just get into the chat box. Just get ready to type. First to type or first to, there's going to be some activity we need to do. And I want us all to do it together because I believe that everyone on this call is on this call for a purpose. And one of the purpose we are trying to achieve is how can I transform my passion in ICT? How can I transform it into a profession? And talking about passion is what you love doing and love doing well. It doesn't really sap your energy and things like that. And talking about profession is when you move that thing that gives you so much satisfaction and you move it into something, it transition into something that fetches you cash, that fetches you gold cash. So that is where we are going. So, and like I said before I dive into the main slide, I want us to reflect on some things. So I'll actually call this section like a tech pathway moment. So please go to the next slide. Please, everyone should get into their chat box. I would like you to pick a response to all these questions you are going to be seeing on your screen. Just go straight to the answer. Just say number one, this, number two, that. This exercise, please, everyone, I would advise everyone get involved in this. This exercise will actually help us help us know where we are heading to, help us to know our passion, help us to to sharpen our wide mindsets. Tech is very wide. Like I said, tech is not just a career, it's more like a calling, it's an inbuilt thing. So I want a minute on a slide so that you'll be able to answer, is it for you to type your responses? And if you want to write them down, but I think you should type your answer so that you can still go back to it if you want to write them out later. This exercise, the response you get out of this exercise, you will take it out later and do some other exercise after this section for you to be able to streamline, to know exactly what my passion is and how am I going to make use of this in tech, in IT, in my career path. So, so I think we should just move. I believe everyone should have done question 1 and 2. So please, let's move to the next one, the next slide. There's still another question there, I think question 3 and 4. So maybe later, because of our time, I don't want us to spend so much time on this. So we should quickly pick our answers, 3 and 4. I believe everyone's hands should be on deck on this to ensure we're able to be on the same page. Please type in the chat box. If you miss question 1 and 2, please just jump to question 3 and 4. Type your answers, pick your answers, because we don't really have that much time. And at the count in 5 seconds time, we are moving to the next slide, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's move to the next slide. So I believe that everyone has picked their responses for 4 and 5. I'm sorry, 3 and 4. So we are on 5 and 6 now. 5 and 6. Please, everyone's answer should be on deck. I want to see everyone's answer in the chat box. It is, like I said, it is going to really, really help shape where the direction you're heading at. It will help you understand your passion, and it will help you understand how you can easily navigate this into a profession. Yeah, it's more like a foundation for you to get to know where you are and where you're heading to. So this shouldn't take too long, right? So 5, we're changing this 4, 3, 2, 1 to the next slide. Okay, all right. We are not going to spend long on this one. Just, you can pick 1, you can pick 2. Just don't pick more than 2, so you don't be jack of all trade. So let's pick 1 or 2. This is an exercise that is advisable for every one of us, no matter the level you are. This is an exercise I want us all to take. The response, like I said, is going to be like more of a foundation for you to know where we are heading to, and what else to do in life. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we move. Okay, thank you very much. For those that have responded, please just match enter on your keyboard so your response can keep flowing in. We would like so that your response can be saved. You can go back to it and jot it out in your paper later, because you have something. I'll tell you what to do with it later. So then we are going to be diving into the main discussion of today. What is the meaning of passion? So passion, I would say, is more like I said earlier, is something you just like doing, things you do without actually feeling the burden. You don't feel exhausted easily. You don't feel overwhelmed easily on it. It can be small things like loving to organize things. It might be just tweaking designs. It might just be someone that is just curious about how things work. So all those things put together, you might see it as something small or irrelevant thing, something very minute. But let me tell you, that is what is called passion, and it is very powerful. This word passion is not just something you just pluck on the trail. It just come as in it's just is the same. Everyone has a very unique passion, and that is the power each of us carry. You need to discover this passion for you to know the power you carry. Because if you don't discover the passion, and if you don't discover your own power, and you're looking at another person's passion and looking at another person's power, to say, okay, because Comfort is doing this as a project manager, I also want to do it. No, that actually may not, that's my own power. Doesn't mean that that could be your own power. Doesn't mean that that would be your own passion. If you try to follow my footsteps, it's possible you get exhausted along the way and you get frustrated before you know it. And you definitely get out of the game. You get frustrated out of tech and you feel like tech is not for me. Whereas tech actually is for you, but you are really not fetched. You've not really touched. That's your passion. So the foundation of a successful techie comes from their passion. They need to discover their passion and build on that passion, because that is where the power lies. So when we're now talking about profession, we are talking about you now turning that thing that excites you, that you enjoy doing, into a meaningful career. And it's a journey. It's not just something you just wake up one day and you just jump into a profession. It should start from your passion, because when you jump into it, you might get frustrated out of it in a very short while. So this journey could start with some curiosity. It will start with you building some skills. It will start with you opening yourself to opportunities and you making impact in the society with that same passion you're showing. When you are able to start from curiosity, you build skill, you open yourself to opportunity, you make impact on the society, this will actually hasten it up to make it easier for you to convert this your passion into a profession very fast. And you need to be intentional about it. You need to be intentional about it. So the first thing is, what is your passion? You need to know what your passion is. How you get to know what your passion is. You need to be intentional about it, be deliberate to know what your passion is. When you know what your passion is, you know where next to move into. So, and our discussion today, it is not just for someone already in tech or probably someone that is just joining tech. It is meant for those that are new to tech. Probably they are not sure where to start from. It is meant for those that are learning already, but they feel stuck. We used to hear a lot of things like that from my HR profession, from my department. We used to hear a lot of situations where people just get stuck and they don't know, maybe they are moving forward or they need to go back or they're doing the right thing or not doing the right thing. So it is normal, but we need to ensure that we actually know what our passion is. And this session is also meant for those that also want to build real solutions, because as a techie, you need to always create solutions. You always see problems, and what you need to do is, how do you create solutions to all those problems? So you can go to the next slide, sir. So, and talking about our profession, right, and our passion, some people start with coding, some just start with organizing events, some even start with writing, testing things, testing technologies, working on design, just playing around design. And the right start is what excites you. Now, if you find yourself always doing any of those things and you just feel excited, because I remember when I was much more younger, technology isn't this easily accessible. So at that time, there was no laptop. I actually personally doesn't have a system, but I had one cousin like that was in school and he did his project. Then he had one hunchback desktop. When he was done with his project, he wasn't using the system again. He was complaining that the system has something. I don't really understand. So he abandoned the system in our house. So I just haven't seen this machine. And I love something. I love trying to, when I see a new technology or new machine like that, I always want to see functions. Even if my parents bought this thing for a particular function, I want to see extra function that they have not discovered. I want to look into it. What other things can this thing do? I will just show them that, this thing can do this one and things like that. I love it so much. And when I got on that system, I on the system came up, what did they say is wrong with the system? So I saw Word, I entered Word, I started typing. When I type this thing is showing, I started checking all the, what do we call it? All the functions, the files, the insert, the page layout, and I started picking them one by one. Let me see what this will do when I click it. When I click it, I saw what it's doing. Okay, I got to check all the functions. Then I start picking books in the house, look at calendars in the house. Then I start feeling like, okay, I would replicate what I'm seeing now, or what is typed in a novel. I love reading novels. Then I would replicate what is being typed there. I would type it here. With that, I was actually playing with it. Sometimes I'll just even forget I've not eaten. So the moment I just find myself there, I enjoy what I'm doing. The result always, in fact, feels me extraordinary. I'm not saying it's a good thing, it's a very, very bad thing to lose. I actually, one of the weaknesses I have is the moment I see it on my system trying to get into something like that, I always forget to it. And that is what some of us techies also, we do to ourselves. But I am saying it categorically, and it's not good. So there is a limit to everything. Too much of everything is actually bad. So talking about our passion. So that's just by the way story. I'm just trying to tell us that a lot of people start on a different lane. And let me tell us, we are all different. We are different entity. Mr. A is different from Mr. B. Because you are on the track of backend together doesn't mean that you started on the same note. Doesn't mean that you started on the same passion. Everybody started a passion on this different platform. So passion is not just always fireworks. Sometimes it's that feeling of I want to solve a bug. It's that feeling of I want to explore new features or new tools. It can be a passion. It can be feeling of you trying to discover some shortcuts in Excel. So this curiosity that you've developed within yourself, that you've noticed in yourself, really, really matters. And tech career often starts with small moments of interest. So let us not forget, let us not cut out that thing. Check yourself. Is there something that's really been interesting that I've been doing? Unknowingly to you, you may not know that that thing is actually pointing at something to you in your tech career where you can move into. So some of us start from the admin aspect. I start as an administrator. In fact, I really don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. So I eventually find myself, I've been doing admin, I've been doing HR work, and I realized that every time I find myself around, I looked at my past roles and I realized that most of my HR work, much of my admin work has been around tech, a tech organization, and probably even the one that is not tech organization, they will still find a way to sneak me into the tech department just to, okay, they're having this issue, even though I'm not an expert like that, they're having this issue, but I always enjoy being there, helping and being a part of the solution. So some of us like that started on the admin route. A lot of us start from coding school. A lot of us here start from from one design. You are just playing with design or just see design and you just like it. Some of us start from a community. So everyone has different entry points and everyone has a unique path. So you can compare path A, path of Mr. A, with you, Mr. B. Everyone have their own unique path. So the next slide, please. So the next thing I would like to talk about is more like the steps we need to take to transform our passion into a career. Please, I apologize, just give me a So apologies for that break in transmission. So please confirm you can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. So now I put out some steps to transform passion into a tech career. Like I said, we all understand what passion is as at now. And as I'm talking, please, I want you to start looking inward and personalizing this conversation. Please, let's try to personalize this conversation. It will really help us to know what else to do after this conversation. And get to know that your own power, you need to focus on your own power and not focus on someone else's power. When all of us are younger, you will hear things like, what do you want to become in future? A lot of us will say, I want to be a pilot tomorrow. And yesterday I said I want to be a doctor. Next tomorrow I want to be a lawyer. That time we actually don't know where our direction is. Yeah, we can be saying that because of what we are seeing. I like the way doctors are dressing. Okay, I want to see aeroplane. I like a plane. I just want to fly aeroplane. So those things actually will just be picking randomly. But when it's time for us to really take that path, and we don't want to lose it, it is necessary for us to understand what our passion is. So what are the steps to transform that thing that you enjoy doing, that passion of yours, how you can maneuver it, or how you can transition it into tech and take it as a profession? You need to identify what lights you. What I mean by that, what you enjoy doing, that's your passion. You need to identify it. When you're able to identify it, then you have taken the first step. And I believe that everyone that knows your right from left should be able to know what actually lights into you. Then from there, you now start learning with free tools. Learn, explore with free tools you see around you. Enter YouTube, free courses on Udemy. Just go there, learn around this thing that spices you up. There's nothing you go on YouTube to look for that you not see. Then you start building mini projects. Now, I would like to bring in before I go into building mini projects, I would like to tell you, when you are exploring free tools, you can also, aside free tools, when you have gotten to some extent, you've gotten some basic knowledge, you have practiced it and things like that, it is also advisable for you to find yourself in a community of people where you have someone you are accountable to, where you have someone that says, oh, you have not done this. You are supposed to submit this at this time. And you are working together in sync. You know you have to deliver something. If you don't deliver it, you'll be questioned. You have an accountability partner. Yeah, let me just put it that way, accountability partner. It is very important for this, your career path. Then when you have learned to a certain extent, you've used your free tool, because you understand that tech is very expensive. What we're talking about, you need to pay for some courses, you need to pay for mentorship, you need to pay for a one-on-one teacher. We know it's expensive. So if you have a constraint of finances, go for free tools. But if you can afford it, it is better for you to go into where you know you can learn with others, build mini projects. You can say it's very small. I'm just handling a little task out of this project and things. But yeah, all those little things makes a mighty ocean at the end of the day. So it is very advisable for us to learn to build, after learning tools, when you have learned tools, while you're learning the tools, you've gotten the basic knowledge, start building mini projects and find a community to join. A lot of us doesn't know what the community does to us. When you are at the top, when you are in your house, when you're with your family, you know how free you are than when you find yourself. As in, you'll be more free to say some things. In fact, you'll be more free to sit anyhow, as in just be yourself in your house. But when you find yourself in a place that is not really you, you need to comport yourself. You sit ethically. You need to talk in a certain manner. You need to express yourself in a certain way. All those things. I'm now trying to link it up with you as a techie, finding yourself in your own community. If I'm calling myself a project manager and I really don't have any passion, I don't have interest in coding, I don't expect myself to find myself in a community that they only talk. The languages they speak is all around coding, and they talk about this, they talk about that. I may not necessarily to keep myself only in that. I'm not saying it's not good for us to join such community, because it's good for us to learn something about everything in tech. But I should have more of my own line of community to make myself be involved in, participate, be active in a community that resonates with that passion, with that career you are building. It is very necessary. So if any of us here find yourself, you have not really been joining community, what is even community? You can find a lot of communities there on our social media. Go on Facebook. type that thing you have passion in, or type that your career path that you know already that you are into. Type it and look at the groups that have such thing. You see a lot of things there. When they start talking about things you understand, you will be able to relate well. But unlike someone that is a doctor, finding himself in a mechanic, or no, let me not even say mechanic, in a vulcanizer workshop, in a vulcanizer community. When they are talking things about vulcanizing, the doctor will just be looking like, I don't really understand what they're talking about. They talk about spanner, they talk about this wheel balancing and things like that. He may really not understand because they're not speaking his language. But let them talk about stethoscope, talk about injection. He would really, okay, this is my thing. He can contribute, and also they can learn from him as he also is learning from them. So community is very, very important. So a lot of us, if you are not joining any community, I would advise you to ensure that we join the community. So apologies for that. Hope this section is being recorded post. All right. So then after talking about finding community, they will always need to keep showing up. Consistency, it is very important. Always show up. Don't be active today doing these things for you to transform your passion into profession, and tomorrow you relax. Next tomorrow you relax. Next week you pick up again. It doesn't work that way. You need to be deliberate. You need to be intentional and ensure that you get all those things right. So in tech, we have a diverse path in tech. We have diverse, you see, web application, UI, UX design, data analysis, cybersecurity, project management, technical writing, quality assurance, infrastructure, cloud DevOps, and things like that. Tech is very wide. So there is a role for every talent, for every passion. There is something for you. Everybody has passion, but you need to discover yourself. And for all passion, there is something for you in tech. So you need to look inwardly and discover your passion first as the foundation. You don't need to be a coding tech. There are roles that resonate around being creative, planning events, analyzing, writing, even testing, and many more like that. So again, I think you should go to the next slide. There are some practical steps we need to take forward. So you need to self-assess yourself. You need to understand yourself. Self-assess yourself. What are the things you enjoy doing? Try tools around that thing. If you're a designer, you feel, okay, when you assess yourself, you enjoy design, play around Canva, play around Figma, and a lot of them like that. And start with that building micro project. And when you do some projects by yourself, ask people for feedback. Ask people for feedback. Then when you get the feedback, go back to your drawing board, correct yourself, keep doing better, keep getting better. Don't see feedback as a critic that they are trying to relegate you, but see it as a form of sharpening yourself. You know, when you just, I believe every one of us use pencil here, or probably we have seen pencil before. When you just buy a pencil, you can't use it because the mouth is blunt. Sorry. The lead inside is not out here. So you need to sharpen it. Keep sharpening. You will test it. When you sharpen it, the next step, you test it. You see that it's not right. You keep sharpening till the lead comes out and is showing itself. So, so some people, like I've said, you can use Excel if you're someone that is into you have an organizing skill or administrative skill. Make use of different tools. Use Google Suite, use Microsoft Suite, explore as many free tools that you can explore. This will actually help you thrive in any tech career you are going into. So we need to embrace the process, and that is where we are. At some point, it is normal for you to feel uncertain. It's normal for you to feel overwhelmed. And also, you need to be proud and inspired, because growth is not just something that it's been dashed out like that. It has a very linear path, and it is worth it, I tell you. So at some point you will feel uncertain. The journey will definitely challenge you. The journey, the beginning of the journey, at the middle of the journey will really challenge you. At some point you will feel lost. And I know a lot of us now from our responses will feel lost at some point, overwhelmed sometimes. You should always be proud and amazed at how far you have come through. So, and the more you try to navigate that struggles, the more perfect your growth is. So if you're able to leave the struggle you had yesterday, your growth, you have grown from where you were yesterday today. And before you know it, you become the big techie you're actually looking out to be. Sometimes you feel you have this imposter syndrome, and sometimes you feel so unsure. Just know that when you have passion, you discover your passion, you practice, and people you have around you will result to breakthrough. So it's very difficult for someone to do tech alone. It will make the road more difficult. And there is one saying that if one person can achieve 1,000 things, 2 people can achieve 2,000 things on that same project. So try not to walk this tech route alone. Walking it alone is possible, but it is more difficult than when you have other people around you. So it's nice for you to have more people around you. Well, so, and it's on that note also, Bincom Dev Center is also being set aside. A lot of people have passion. They even want to convert to profession, but doing it alone is very difficult. So Bincom has set actually a platform for you to be able to have other team members. We have a lot of team within Bincom. So I'm actually not here to talk about Bincom, but I'm just trying to give an expression of what Bincom is. So from passion to profession, what does it look like? Starting from where you are. You need to start from where you are. Build your confidence with every small steps. Build your confidence and be deliberately saying yes to growth. Teach what you learn. When you teach others what you have learned or what you know, it always supports the level of growth, how you are getting better, and keep having deeper roots. Get that skill, that thing you have, keep having a deeper root, so that you become more stronger. The Iroko tree wasn't just as big as that in a day. The root keep going down, keep getting bigger, and bigger. And this is what we want you to do also. Whatever you have learned, don't learn it for yourself. Dash it out. Teach others. And good thing is one of those things I really enjoyed about Bincom also. Give you opportunity to teach others, whether through your KD, whether you facilitating a class and things like that. Help you to teach others. While you're teaching others, you're learning more and you're deepening your roots inside that skill. So please go to the next slide. I think I don't know if we're on the same slide already. So please, joining community is very, very important for you. Like I said, it is very, very, let's take advantage of it. It looks like taking that first course. So when you're in school, you first take a course, it will look like where are we heading to, or we are confused and saying like, but you need to keep doing things. Say yes to helping out on any project. If there's a project on ground, if they're inviting you to that, say yes. Techies that are not solving problems are not techies. And like I said, we have different kind of techies. So if you're not writing code, doesn't mean you are not techie. If you're not a techie. My first speaker he's a digital marketer. Yes, he may not be writing code, but he is actually a techie because he deals with digital marketing. Digital tools. He knows what he put together and to ensure that everything works well. And showcase what the tech is, the back end, the graphics designer, the front end, what they did, showcase it to the world, and make sure that people come and see what they have done. We are all techies. As a project manager, we are all techies. We may not be writing code, but we are all techies. We have non-coding tech and we have coding techies. So all of us, we are on this together. Build your passion. Don't wait to be perfect. Start with your passion. Meet curiosity. Your dream career is already in motion. So go to the next slide. I think I've been able to touch everything on my slide as at now. I've talked about the next step. Okay, so talking about my next step, you can see my screen. You can mentor. Start with, probably you feel, okay, let me start with a mentor. What do you want to do? Based on everything we have said now, what are the things, what do you think you need right now? Look at it, pick the one that best resonates with you and start it. Don't wait. Nobody is going to push you. You're going to push yourself. But you need to discover your passion. It is very important. First thing first, discover your passion. The next slide, please. I think that's the end of my slide. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. This is where I think I've taken a lot of our time. So thank you so much. You don't have to be perfect to begin. Please don't forget that you don't have to be perfect at all. Just start with what you enjoy. Be curious, be consistent, be patient with yourself. The tech world is big enough for your dream and it is waiting for you. We don't want that passion. We don't want that skill, that unique skill that you have to just waste away. We are waiting for you. The world is waiting for you. Your journey is yours, but you don't have to walk it alone. Your journey is yours. You don't have to look at Mr. A, how their journey is, and your journey have to be like that. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you so much, host, for having me.
All right, thank you so much, Ma, for that wonderful presentation. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you already have your questions piled up to ask. But before we take the questions, I would want us to fill a digital form, feedback form. We just want you to give us feedback on how the event has been so far, so we'll know the areas we need to improve on. So I'll be sharing the link to the form on the chat box. Please do well to do the needful. Thank you. All right, the link to the form is already on the chat box. Please, let's try to fill them. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to be moving over to the question time. Please, if you have any questions for our own Madam Comforts, please do well to drop your question on the chat box, or if you want to speak, you can just raise your hand and then I'll call on you. Okay, while we are waiting for your questions, I would like to ask mine. Hello, Ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, my question is about managing distractions. So the question is, how can you stay focused on your goals despite the numerous distractions in the tech field? There are so many things you want to hop on. Today, there's new one and they're saying, oh, this one, there's a lot of money here. Oh, something is happening here. This one is easy, is good. That's like the trending one. But how do you actually say, okay, this is the one I want to stick with, and then you stick with it no matter what?
Okay, thank you for that question. Actually, a lot of people should have that same issue also. And what I would say is that we've talked about it. Just know, first, discover your passion. When you discover your passion, then you know which route you're going through. The moment you know which route you're going through, every other person's route is not yours. So you just have to be consistent and deliberate and just go through based on the passion that you've discovered. Just go through that career and focus. Be focused on it. A lot of people will be saying a lot of things at the side. Infrastructure is paying this, DevOps is paying this, and you definitely it will keep coming like that. That's every other person's passion. If it's not your passion, just focus on your own. And before you know it, you go further. It will make your journey faster, easier for you than for you to try to move into another person's passion, and it looks very difficult. The route usually looks very difficult and get stopped. Eventually, you'll not get results because you have to drop out before the end of before you get to where you're going. So that's what I would say. I would say that discover your passion and be focused.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma.
Yes.
So it's passion. Yes. Okay. Do we have more questions? Anyone? Okay. I guess that's it. Please, let's also try to fill out the form. The link to the form is already on the chat box. All right. Thank you so much, Ma. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you for creating our time to join us on this session today. Thank you, Ma. All right, and thank you so much, every other person that's joined us up until the end. I know that most of us have already dropped off, but thank you for staying with us up until now. And we are going to be having the next session next month, and we hope to see you there too. Thank you once again, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Before you go, apologies. So I mentioned an exercise to be done earlier. For those that did the exercise, because I can see there is no response on that exercise in the chat box. For those that did the exercise, please take your responses and take it on any of your AI tool, probably ChatGPT or any other thing you use. Put it there and let the system give you options around the career path for this passion, for this based on this responses you have given. It's going to give you some responses, and you can start from there to get to know if you're actually on the right path, or if you're actually on the right path, and how you should navigate from there. It will really help you. So thank you, everyone. That's what I have to say. Bye. Thank you.
All right. Thank you once again, Ma, and thank you, every other person, for joining. And see you guys next on our next ICT Career Talk, July. Thank you and bye.